Welcome. So I wanted to talk to you guys about retreats, and I am fresh off a retreat from this past weekend. It's a few days after, but I have to say that I needed a little time to recoup afterwards. Just made partner at his first job. See, it does still exist. Like I said, you know, where this company that I just was working for, they had 45 years. It really does still exist. It's just you don't really see it that much on the online space. So congratulations to your husband. I bet you that is huge and a very huge, it is rare, and totally a huge welcome to your family. So that's really awesome, Courtney. That's super huge. Congratulations. Tell him I said so as well. So retreats, I was asked to speak at a retreat, and it was the GoGetter's mentorship, which is run by my colleague Maryalice, who is cool, who is super awesome. She is an online biz coach, and we've known each other for a few years now. And this is also what's awesome about the online spaces. Maryalice and I met each other several years ago through a different coaching program, and we remained friends. And it's been really nice to see her grow in her business and grow into her meaning. And I actually wish she was on the scope, because then she would be able to chime in here as well. So she is doing this 1-year mentorship where she is bringing female entrepreneurs that are new to the online space and bringing them through creating online products. And it happens to me all the time, Jackie. I knock myself out and then have to come back in. And so Maryalice, as a kickoff for her year, put together this retreat. And so as a speaker, I oftentimes get asked to speak at retreats and also at different day events, and even just like one night events as well. So my preference is to do retreats, and here's why. When you can get away and disconnect from your daily life, and some of you who are stay-at-home moms and some of you who are running corporate jobs or, you know, running your own job, you get stuck in your daily routine, and you also get stuck in the same environment, which sometimes can be limiting. A retreat allows us to actually physically get out of our environment, which now, if any of you know anything about my book, Clear, I talk about how your environment is a reflection of your inner life. And I'm really big on changing your environment when you need to get inspiration and clarity. The best thing about retreats is that you are stuck with a whole new group of people in a different, yes, exactly. Find new ideas in a different scenery. Thank you for writing that. And it's true. And you also, it's a weekend geared towards learning about something that you specifically are interested in. And now, I have gone to some retreats that have just been a complete failure from the perspective of being badly run or the content wasn't what I thought. However, even when that has happened to me, I have met the most amazing people. And if not in the least bit that you can commiserate with somebody else who's like, I cannot believe that I just paid all this money to this nut job who feels like they just took all my money, you know, you have it's like, yeah, like you get this, you develop these friendships. And what's also kind of fun, and, you know, I have traveled a lot in what I did for my previous job. I travel a lot, both for business and for pleasure. When you travel, you learn something about yourself every single time you go out. You learn something about a different environment, different people. People get very uncomfortable traveling, so if you really want to get to know some of your friends or some of your colleagues, travel with them. The most amazing things come out in times of pressure, good and bad, but it's always super interesting. So the great thing about this retreat was that I was able to talk to these women entrepreneurs about my book, Clear, and how and related specifically to what they do in their life. Going to bed soon in minority. Exactly. Yeah. See, it's cool. It's like, yep. And also, not even that, is like you also, right, with any type of retreater like that, you get to get out of your normal day job if you don't really like it that much, which is also very nice. So I went to this event, and I was specifically speaking to female entrepreneurs, and they're new in their business. So what I talked about, thank you, Jackie, for inviting followers. I very, very much appreciate you sharing this broadcast. I shared with them how when we are starting out, and even if you're not just starting out, this is for anybody who works, which is pretty much everyone in this day and age. I mean, it's hard not to even have a job. It's just crazy. So if you are feeling like you are scattered in your business, feeling like you are not getting the details, or you're not producing enough, you are not feeling like you're lacking creativity, you're just downright just like not feeling like things are flowing the way they should. And we all get to this point at some part of our journey. Have you ever thought that perhaps it was your environment? Is your workspace a place that you love? And that was a question that I spoke about. And I'm actually going to do a Periscope either later tonight on that topic or tomorrow. But because this one I want to keep towards just retreats and get you guys off and doing what you need to do for the rest of the day. Okay? So that's what I spoke about, and it was incredible. The feedback that I got after what I was speaking about really was a touchstone for a lot of the women who were there, who shared their feelings with me. But the retreat. So the past few days, I took 2 days off from social media. This is the other thing that I have to do. Oh, Jackie, I can help you with your workspace. That's my forte. This is what I'm here for. Again, then that means that's just another proof I'm definitely going to have to do a Periscope on this. Probably a few of them for you guys. So here's the thing about retreats, is that you go there, you get totally inspired, you meet all these new people, and then you leave there like buzzing. You're like, whoa, oh my God, I've got so much that I need to do. There's so much that I want to accomplish. There's so much that I want to integrate. And then you got to go back to your normal life. So I highly, 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 highly recommend that when you go to a retreat, to make sure that you schedule 1 or 2 days afterwards where you don't need to do anything, that there's nothing pressing except maybe having to cook a couple meals, and that's about it. Because you need time, especially with creativity and such bursts of intense productivity. You need a fallow time. You need time to let those ideas come in. You need those ideas to be able to ruminate on them, and you need to figure out, okay, how can I incorporate these ideas in my life? And I don't even, in those next 2 days, I don't even want you to go into action. I just want you to just be like, all right, just take it all in. Because you know what? We don't give ourselves enough space to take in and understand what we've just learned. And that can be the most detrimental thing possible, because what ends up happening, prep meals before you, yes, totally, Jackie, good point. So Jackie's saying to prepare for leaving for a retreat when you return, to make sure that you've prepped some meals beforehand so you really don't have to take care of things. And that's such a good point, because again, I don't want you to do anything except just to relax, because A, you're going to be completely exhausted. Travel actually takes a lot of energy. And then also, you're going to be so inspired, and you're going to be so overwhelmed with these new connections and these new ideas that you're not even going to be able to really put them into words yet. People are going to be like, so what was the best thing that happened? And you're going to be like, I don't know. The food was good. It was really amazing. It was actually life-changing. So how was it life-changing? And you're just like, give me a couple of days. I'll get back to you on that, right? It happens all the time. We really need those points of being able to just process information. And again, there's no guide out there on how to do that. But as far as something that's creativity, and this is a big forte for me that I talk about a lot, is respecting and honoring the creative process. And part of retreats, yes, I would need a full day to just write out notes, ideas, and people. Exactly, Courtney. So you want to make sure that you take that space to do that, because if you don't, what inevitably happens is that you end up, you bypass that phase of incorporating those ideas, and then you go straight to your regular life, and then all of a sudden all that inspiration, creativity gets pushed aside, and it doesn't get developed to its fullest. So you're not going to get all the creativity that you need. You're not going to get all the true inspiration of what you just spent money on. And it's going to feel good, but then you're not going to be able to carry that feeling from the retreat further into your week or further into your month or year. If you bypass that fallow time, you basically are just going to like cut the cords on that creative flow. So we want to be able to, with retreats, live them up and have them and make it a point to do it. I really, really, really recommend to do one once a year, at the very least once a year, and give yourself that. And by retreat, preferably it's overnight, but if it's not, just even a one-day retreat. And I'm not talking about massages and like that kind of stuff. I'm talking about real mindset or job retreat or something focused on what your interest is. Is that, you know, if you're in marketing, is that going to a retreat on business development and new social media tools? Okay, I have a hard time considering thinking reflection. Yeah, Courtney, you know what? A lot of people do. And I have to say that it is. It really is. And I work with a lot of executives. Oh, hi. Hey, Misty. Now I know who that is. Webmaster. Oh, that's a great handle. Awesome. So actually, Misty was at the retreat that I was just at, and I think that Misty can say that she, just from a very recent personal experience, she had some major breakthroughs, and I think that Misty, this year's your year, girlfriend, I'm telling you. So if you guys need any website help, Misty's your girl. So follow her at Web My Stress, because she is very good at dealing with people and talking them systematically and without being crazy, right? Because you're like, oh my God, my website's and she'll talk you off the ledge and work through with you. So there you go, Misty. So Courtney. Oh, the retreat was for GoGetter's mentorship, which is run by Maryalice Goldsmith, and she's on social media. She's mostly known as Inside Out Wellness, but you can follow her on Facebook underneath her name and Inside Out Wellness, but she'll have stuff underneath GoGetter's mentorship. And the official hashtag for the weekend was GoGetters 2016. Hashtag GoGetters 2016. So through the hashtag, you'll be able to find her and this mentorship. And she, again, I mean, it's for a lot of people who are online, I hands down recommend her for the work that she does, because Maryalice is very good at getting the best out of people in this space and bringing your job to a next level. And let me also tell you, I'm not promoting her because I'm getting a kickback. I'm promoting her because I've seen her work in person and I've known her for several years. So anyone that I highly recommend, I've known, and I can vouch for what I've seen and through their integrity and what they do. I'm very big on that. I don't have time for baloney and fake people, because we all know that on the online, there's a lot of businesses can act like that they are super successful, and in the end they're not. So I was getting back to saying that I work with a lot of executives, and one of the top things that they complain about to me is that they oftentimes get sucked down into the minutia of whatever work or creation that they're doing, especially for corporate, and that they don't have enough time set up in their schedule for big picture thinking. So Courtney, when you were talking about, that, it's hard to say that time and reflection and downtime is actually important to the process. It's huge. And it oftentimes is what can keep us from being overwhelmed in our lives, because when you have a lot of ideas and you don't know, you get overwhelmed with how to incorporate them, or to say, I'm not even giving myself space to figure out, I've got these talents, I've got this knowledge, I've got these ideas. I don't even necessarily have the idea yet, but I know that I've got this knowledge. How do I incorporate it in my life? If you don't give yourself the space and the time to reflect on that actively, like, meaning when I say active is actually to put that time aside, you don't give enough time or honor to letting those ideas develop from the talents that you hold. So with the retreats, the retreats pretty much, like, I would say they really kind of boost everything up. Like, you're trying to accomplish this every week, but like a retreat really kind of puts it on turbo to make it, seem even more prevalent and also important to do it right immediately. So, all right, who is going to try to figure out one retreat that they can go to this year? Oh, okay. So Jackie, great question, Jackie. Where do I look for possible retreats? And Missy's saying, yeah, she just went on this retreat and it was the most amazing experience of her life. And yeah, all right, Jackie's going to retreat this year. Okay, so a couple places that I would recommend is, one, looking at if you like particular people, that you follow particular people that you like. So for instance, this year I want to put together a retreat. I don't have it together yet. Logistic nightmare, but I feel like I need it. Yes, and Courtney. All right, Courtney's bringing up a very good point too. Not allowing ourselves the time to actually take a retreat, because we're like, especially as a stay-at-home mom and people who've got a lot of responsibilities, a husband, dogs. What do you do with the 2 dogs? What do you do with the 4 kids? What do you know, like, how do I have enough money to do this? I guarantee you that if you want to do a retreat, it will all work out. You just have to trust that it's going to work out, okay? So for a retreat, there's some things that I would recommend. One is to look at people that you like online and you like what they have to say. So in particular, for instance, like if you, let me use a good example. Do you guys know who Gabby Bernstein is? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, Gabby Bernstein, she's like in the health and wellness. I'm assuming it don't count. No, they don't. But, Jackie, I'm sure that there are retreats or symposiums around perhaps how to coach, how to work with your horse, how to work with your horses in a more meaningful way, or the business of equestrian life, or running a equestrian club. Questions like that, specific things that might align with what your accountability coach. So perhaps there's also something that you've been interested in. Like, I know that there's working with horses for rehabilitation, or, you know, I'm thinking out of the box. It may not be hitting home, but specific things that you find interesting or you think that can help you personally. So that might be around health and wellness. It might be online business. It might be in, like, Jackie's into equestrian, Misty's into horses. Misty's into website design. Courtney, you the 2 websites you listed, I don't know what you do for a living. You're a stay-at-home mom, but you might want to do a retreat. Like, say you're really into running, that there was a retreat around running and yoga. So how do you find these people? Well, one is to look on social media and see who you align with. Like, even these Periscopes are great. So like I said, like I want to do a retreat later on this year that I'm hoping to run in dressage clinic. Yes, definitely need a business minded retreat. Yes. So actually, that I would even consider that the dressage. Ooh, that's a tough word to say. Clinic to be a type of retreat, because you're getting out of here and you're going to South Dakota, and you're going to go somewhere else to do something that you love and be around like-minded people. That is the key. Really? Project subscription, the intentional living blog. Okay, cool. Yes, so Courtney, there are a lot of retreats around those 2 subjects. So online, finding people who you like their work, you align with, and you think is worth paying money to, because that's big. And 2, another place I'd like to look at is some of the retreat centers. So I'm in the Northeast, and we have different centers around here. One that's somewhat nearby in the Hudson Valley is the Omega Center. The Omega Center is world renowned for education, health. Yes, exactly, Courtney, exactly. So for instance, this Omega clinic that I would recommend. So Omega they have a campus in Rhinebeck, New York, where they have people come from around the world, and they sponsor weekends. You could fly there and then stay the weekend, and then all these people come in from, again, all around the world. They've got big names like, again, I'm using Gabby Bernstein. I don't know why she's coming up a lot, but I think she also lives in this area, has a weekend home here. So she might do a weekend there. Deepak Chopra. I'm talking about, this is more like, more towards the woo-woo wellness side, but there's also more practical, like what I actually did a Omega retreat, and I was there for speaking. That was actually a fantastic retreat. I was there for speaking, transformational speaking. But while I was there, the Tony Horton, the PX90 guy, P90X guy, he was there doing a retreat at the Omega Center. So you can see, like, the Omega attracted speakers. It also attracted P90X. Did I just keep saying it wrong? Whatever. You guys are getting the point that there's some of these Kripala's another one, some Buddhists, yeah, people love them. Super good looking in person. And actually, here's another thing about going to a place like Omega. So I was there for speaking, but you end up having lunch together at these different, especially at a place that holds a lot of retreats. And I ended up sitting with a lot of the people that were doing the Tony P90X, which actually totally jives with me, because I am trained as a personal trainer as well. Like that, I do it with some of my, I offer that with my client. Anyway, I love to work out. Let's put it that way. So I ended up sitting at tables and connecting with 2 doctors who were there for the Tony thing, and we hit it off, even though I was there for a different event. So again, another example of travel and retreat and knowing who you're going to get out. Now, I want to share with you guys a bad experience I had. So there was a big name. I'm talking so much that I'm sucking air here. Give me a second. Whew. All right. So last year, I was looking for a retreat to do, and I started and went through a process to go on a huge retreat with a very well-known name, and it promised X, Y, and Z, and it was 10 grand. I mean, I'm actually even a little bit embarrassed to say how much the retreat was, because like now in retrospect, I realized like that wasn't, it wasn't really where I wanted to be putting my money. If I was gonna, well, here's the whole thing. So I went through the process of trying to get accepted into this very prestigious retreat, $10,000 that did not include travel time. It didn't include accommodations. It was just like for being there and for our 5 days to be in this mastermind retreat group. Went through the whole process. I get accepted. And I was like super excited. And then all of a sudden I was like, this is not what I should be doing right now. And I really had to dig deep, right? Because I kind of got like an ego boost. I'm like, I got accepted. Woo-hoo-hoo, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Look how fancy and special I am. People want to hang out with me. And then I was like, Annick, like, are you insane? Like, what? That is not a reason to go to a retreat at all, whatsoever. Not going to help you in your life. No, I needed to get serious and be like, okay, is this retreat really going to be worth the money? And I couldn't validate that. So when I went through the interview process, I also had a list of questions that I asked them. Like, right, it wasn't all about them asking me and being like, all right, Annick, you can be accepted into our private club. I also want to know, okay, if I'm going to go halfway around the world to hang out with you fantastic, fabulous people, what makes you so fantastic and fabulous, and how are you going to help me right away? Now, had I gone, I'm sure networking wise, it would have been really amazing. However, I had to take into account where I was in my life right then and there. And so I made the decision not to do the retreat because I thought, okay, I'm at a point in my career and in my business where I need to be investing that 10 grand into my business. Technically, not my business mindset wise. We can get really stuck on like the self-help improvement train, and I knew already at that point that I was jumping off that train and seeing that one go by, but that I needed to be really practicing what I was preaching and what I was learning. So I decided not to do that retreat, and where I needed to put that 10 grand was in things that would help my business, better support for my online biz, like email marketing. Like I need to be putting some of that money towards automated services. I needed to be putting that money towards the really unsexy, the really unfun parts of running a business. And, you know, unfortunately, 10 grand just does not get you that far in your business. And, you know, so when people are charging certain rates, also consider what their background is. But that's not really for you to even be worried about, because you need to be worrying about yourself. So anyway, getting back to deciding whether or not a retreat is good for you, really question that and just make sure that you don't get sucked into FOMO of, oh, awesome, yeah, Jackie, don't you feel like you're like stepping it up? You're like, yeah, man, I just paid for automation. I'm taking this seriously now. So make sure when you choose a retreat that you don't get fear of missing out, like, oh my God, my best friend is going on this like fantastic, you know, $2 grand retreat, and it sounds awesome. She's making it sound so awesome, and I don't want to miss out. And I don't want, you know, like, what if she meets people that I don't meet? And I got to go on this retreat. Like, not the reason to go on a retreat. No way, no how. You want to make sure that you're choosing a retreat for where you are in life, what you want to accomplish, and what you're going to get out of it, and also the networking possibilities of it. Because, and I say this over and over again, this is why I want you guys to interact with each other and meet each other on these Periscopes, is that this is your community. You don't need to go look for one. You are in one, and we just want to make sure that we build the community that we have together. So, you know, everybody who comments here, I appreciate it so much, and I really do want you guys to follow each other, because this is it. If you're here, we're all here for a reason, and we're connecting for a certain reason. If I'm not your thing, then that's totally cool. Then you just get off the Periscope. But I'm going to assume that everybody who's here and keeps showing up, you're my people, and I like hanging out with you. I like your comments, and I know that I'm sure we would probably hang out in real life. So find a retreat that works for you, and let me just tell you that just once, 1 year, will be life-changing for you. You'll learn something about yourself, about other people, about your business. It's going to be totally, yay, Misty, you're my people. It is going to be awesome. And everybody keeps calling like their people their tribe. Well, I just want to say that I'm going to bring it back to the 90s, and I want to call my people my posse. I don't know. You guys in for that? That rap song, My Posse's on Broadway, always comes up when I sing that. There you go. And yeah, so there you go. You're on an MLM in Beachbody Summit. That totally, the posse, all right, cool. That any type of like, even like that networking event around an MLM, that also counts as well. So I'm going to leave you guys with those thoughts, and I want you to check in with me and let me know if you guys go on retreats or you schedule ones, and also let me know, would you be interested if I put together a wellness retreat for this summer on women in business. I love to connect with my men, but sometimes the women don't like to share when it's when we've got boys and girls together. So let me know. And also, if you were totally fine with a co-ed business and wellness retreat, please let me know. And it would be supporting, give me the dirt on that. Okay, cool. So all right, this is good to know. This would be supporting all aspects. It basically, when I say I want to put the wellness in, is that it's all right, cool. It's to support that you're all here trying to better yourselves, and so how can we do this? And so when I say the business side of it, I'm going to assume that you guys all have jobs. You're all doing something that we're in the business mindset, but how do we also support that with our health and wellness? And so I think it all goes together, because if we want to be better in our lives and we want to have successful businesses, we also need to be very good and supportive in our health and wellness, because you can't work 90 hours and say the word and I'll be there. All right, awesome. Okay, this is cool. So this is very cool. So this is in the formulation. I've been wanting to do this, and I've got a few people that I have in mind that I want to speak at this event. So I think on future Periscopes, I will definitely ask you guys what you would want in a retreat. So let me know. And you can find me at AnnickMagac across all social media platforms. Instagram is my favorite, besides Periscope. Facebook is the easiest to like talk and actually private message on. And I also have so you can find me on both of those formats. You can email me directly, info@AnnickMagac.com. And as a thank you for listening to this Periscope, I would love for you guys to download a chapter of my book, which is in my bio, and that's AnnickMagac.com/Claire free chapter. And treat yourself, my posse. You guys have an awesome day. Thank you so much for spending part of it with me, and I can't wait to hear what retreats you go on. It's going to be freaking awesome. All right, ciao.